Right now, there is a warning from the South Valley where an alarming trend is sending vapors straight to the hospital. Officials with the Kings County Health Department say there's been a rise in acute respiratory distress syndrome, or ARDS. And in all of the cases, patients vaped using cannabis oils bought from one of the street-side pop-up shops. They say these cases seem similar to what's happening in Wisconsin, Illinois, and Minnesota.
We have patients that have been so severe that they've been admitted to the ICU and were put on mechanical devices to help their breathing.
Experts say there are symptoms to be on the lookout for. Joining us today to break down all of this information for us on ARDS is Nicole Fisher, Nursing Division Manager for Kings County Department of Public Health. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
I'm really glad you could join us here because there's so much unknown in this, and it's good to really get educated in it.
Definitely.
I guess first off, ARDS, kind of what does it stand for and what is it?
Sure, definitely. No, we really don't know a lot of information about all of this, but ARDS is Acute Respiratory Distress Syndrome, and it is caused by an exposure or an injury to the lungs, and it can be very serious. It can lead to full organ shutdown, and it's potentially fatal.
Wow.
So it's a very serious condition.
And this is from the cannabis oil that people have vaped.
So from our investigation at Kings County Department of Public Health, we have found that of the 8 cases that were hospitalized in Kings County at Adventist Health, they all had a link of vaping, and they either vaped cannabis or CBD oils, or a combination of those. So from what we have gathered, that has been the link, and as you had mentioned, there have been many other states that have identified individuals that have had similar outcomes of acute respiratory distress because of vaping cannabis.
What are some of the symptoms with this that someone would get?
Yeah, so some of the symptoms include just being very tired or having difficulty catching your breath and having rapid breathing. But the issue of just being very tired is something that everybody feels, and so it can be quite common. But that leads to difficulty breathing, and then most of the cases have been admitted to the ICU and have required mechanical ventilation.
Wow. So
Yeah.
this is an extremely serious situation.
Definitely.
Well, what was the difference of smoking something, you said the CBD oil, compared to a usual tobacco-based?
Yeah, so I know a lot of people have probably heard vaping, nicotine or tobacco is a common thing. What we have found from the cartridges that we were able to get from the individuals that were hospitalized, this was cannabis or CBD oil. And another thing we found out is that this is not oil that we would find in a store that is a reputable store. So these are just people that can sell it on the street, and we don't really know what's in them.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
for distributors or anyone out there selling it, how would they go about telling the difference or that it's not okay?
Well, one of the things is that these pop-up shops that we have heard about, they are just people that by word of mouth, there's somebody that is setting up very briefly and selling the cartridges for the vaping. There are shops that are regulated, and those are ones that are actually open, you can walk into, and they've been regulated and they've gone through different testing. So those are the difference between the two.
Well, are all the counties here in the Valley able to sell them?
Well, most of the counties have voted no to selling, but there are some cities in Fresno County, I know, that have said yes, and there are some shops that are open that are inspected and have had to go through inspections as well.
If this happens to someone, or if you're worried this is happening, I mean, what's your best bet? What would you want to go do?
Well, it's very important that if anybody is noticing any symptoms just out of the ordinary, or if they have purchased vaping equipment that is not what they normally purchase and they're feeling ill, to go to the hospital right away or go to an urgent care clinic. It's important to seek medical attention and to make sure that everything is fine with their breathing. So it's important to seek medical attention right away and to only buy from reputable places.
Absolutely. Is
Yeah.
there anywhere they can go to maybe educate themselves on it more or try to avoid this?
Well, the California Department of Public Health has websites for cannabis and for also e-cigarettes and vaping, which is what the e-cigarettes are for. And so going on their website is a very good resource for more information on those topics.
And are they going to keep testing some of these to see if maybe that is the reasoning, or how are they going to go about trying to get rid of this situation?
So in California, there have been now up to 20 cases that have been reported because of this alert that Kings County has put out, and then the California Department of Public Health has issued an alert. And so they are going to be we have sent samples for them to sample in their lab, because from individuals that have been hospitalized. And so from that investigation, hopefully we'll be able to find out what is in those cartridges that makes it different and has caused all these illnesses.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for all of that. I really appreciate you bringing all of this information to light and making sure everyone's staying safe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.